Welcome to Perpetual Backlog Podcast, the gaming podcast catered for you to listen and get through that pesky backlog of yours. With hosts like Aqua, I have no idea what I'm doing, Dalit Duskwhite,
Come for the games, stay for my friends trying to kill me with their horrible puns,
and Leek Whipple.
Hey, this is Leek coming at you with a funny one-liner that I've been ordered to record, but the joke is I can't think of anything, so yeah, finger guns, pew pew, totally cool.
Alright, so Dalit, what'd you play today? Or this week?
I played a lot of Cyberpunk. I put like 100 hours into Cyberpunk.
Really? 100 hours?
Like 98, 99 hours, yeah.
Jesus.
I did everything in that damn game.
Oh, true. I did see your achievements. You did have, like, the NCPD stuff done, all the fucking, like, gigs and shit. And I didn't touch... Like, if I drove by an NCPD thing and it, like, popped up, I would, like, stop, run out, punch a few people, and then like, and then, like, drive away. But that's all I did. I also played Cyberpunk, but I only have 60. I think it's like 64 hours into it.
I mean, let's pretend like these aren't absolutely ridiculous numbers.
I've gotten pretty much most of the stuff done, most of the main quests and side quests done.
Mm-hmm.
But I also played like one level of Doom Eternal.
Hey,
Doom Eternal. Okay.
Because it finally hit Game Pass PC. So I have that, and that's literally the only reason why I have Game Pass PC, so I could get Doom Eternal and play it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Games Pass is a good deal. It's a bit rougher on PC, but hey, it's a good game to add to the collection.
I played the first level, and I'm playing on Hurt Me Plenty difficulty, which is, I guess, technically the normal mode. It's the second level of difficulty, because the first level is
so ridiculous.
First level is Too Young to Die. I'm too young to die. So I'm assuming that's the easy one, and I might actually stop playing this difficulty and go down to the blower one, because oh boy, that game's a little difficult.
Taking a little bit of time to get into the rhythm of Doom.
Man, I didn't realize how low of ammo you really get in that game.
Yeah, the glory kills seem to really matter.
Glory kills, and then the chainsaw kill. Actually, chainsawing is really important, because that's how you get your ammo back.
I did not know this.
Yeah. And you can run out of fuel in your chainsaw, so you can only chainsaw 3 before you need to kill things in another way and or pick up a fuel tank. But that's fun. I played one level.
Music's cool in that game too.
Music is amazing in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I also took a bit of a small dip into hell, so to speak. Though not Doom. I have finally gotten the first major ending in Hades.
Oh.
Beat that thing 10 times. So that was fun.
Oh.
Also excellent music.
Man, I remember when I downloaded Hades, when I got Hades, I played it for like 2 days straight. Didn't get like as far as I really wanted to, and then I was like, okay, well, time for me to play other games, because roguelites are one of those games where I can only play for a small amount of time and then just...
Yeah, I had that same feeling with Rogue Legacy 1 and there's another one that I tried to get into and I failed. I forget what it's called. Hades is the first one to really like grip me tight and rip me into it.
I have another roguelike on my Steam list that's called like Gunslinger or something. Where's it at? Let me look. Gunfire Reborn.
Oh, I don't know that.
Gunfire Reborn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's where you play as like these anthropomorphic animals with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That one's actually pretty fun. It's a first-person shooter. one. But I haven't gotten past the first boss in that game, and even with
FPS roguelite,
and it's FPS roguelite, and it's co-op as well.
Oh god, that's a lot of things happening.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's just, man, like, I've gotten the first boss down to like 15% HP, and that's as far as I've gotten in that game.
Hey, dude, enough time, you'll get it down to like muscle memory.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult as well.
Did you play Cyberpunk and or go to hell?
Who, me? No, yeah. You know why. Fortunately. No, I was playing Dauntless again. I've gone into it. It's fun. I just jump in and out as I please, and they got this fun event going on right now where you can essentially place a snowball fight on the islands, and that's very silly. Yeah, I'm really impressed with what they've done with changes. It does feel different to play. You don't need to form a party. You can just jump in, and then other people will jump in, and it's not just restricted to 4 players. There's loads of people that can join in an island as they please. And every time you kill a behemoth, you're not kicked off, so you can just hang around still and fight more or whatever. You can even jump to another island without going to the hub. That's good.
It seems like they've really streamlined it.
Yeah.
I have it all in and set to go. I just need to, press play at some point.
Heal yourself away.
I have
from hell.
Yeah, I have also downloaded Dauntless again for the.
We should play. Come on.
For the purposes of trying out the new update, or the remake, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I've been playing with my other friends, but I've been
Since I'm pretty much done with
by yourself.
Since I'm pretty much done with most Cyberpunk stuff, I'll look into playing other games now.
Oh man, I have one more Cyberpunk thing to do.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean Takamura. A friend of the channel show picked me up Valhalla and told me to finally play it. So I guess I'll be doing that at some point.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll play together because he can't get through those types of games by himself.
Oh boy, I cannot do visual novels on my one season.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna help.
Also, I have something else for you guys. All right?
Oh.
Do you hear this?
Yeah, sure do.
Do you know what this is?
What is it?
Nope.
No,
is it a button?
I'm scared.
It's it's me hitting buttons on my PS5 DualSense controller.
Why are you beating up your controller?
No, I'm just.
Why did you get it?
I got it. My brother got me the controller for Christmas.
Oh,
okay. Because you had mentioned he was gonna attempt to kind of grab you your PS5 so you could pay him back. I wasn't sure how far into this we were going. I didn't know what level of excited for you to be.
Yeah, no, I don't have a PS5, unfortunately. But I have the
right.
controller, and the controller works on PC. I can plug it in, and it works perfectly on PC.
That's a big enough deal, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't use it on the PS4 unless I'm doing remote play on the PS4 on the PC.
But okay.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't work the same way as the PS4 did the PS3 games, where you can just plug it in. The PS4 just does not recognize this game, or just this the controller. This thing is heavy. Like, I heard some people saying, oh man, it feels like, kind of feels a little lighter or whatever. I'm like, I have a PS4 controller in my hand and the DualSense in my hand. The DualSense is definitely half a pound heavier than this.
And that makes sense, given that there should be more machinery inside it.
Yeah. This thing feels sturdy. Like, when I get mad at, like, playing my PS4 controllers or whatever, I can feel like I can like push in on my PS4 controller and break it in half or whatever. I don't feel that way with this thing.
So does it feel more like I hate making this comparison because I don't like him personally. Does it feel like the 360 controllers, or I guess just the Xbox controllers in general?
I mean, I guess maybe in weight, but not like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like just
in weight, it feels more like a 360 controller or like an
because
Xbox controller.
I think a lot of people really like that. I never really came around on the actual form But in terms of weight, even I can't really argue. It does feel really good just to have in your hands.
And the handles are a bit smaller than they are on the PS4 controller. Just like a not like smaller, but like maybe a little more thinner, so it doesn't feel like you're like clutching this like gigantic like appendage from the PS4 controller.
Sure.
What a sentence.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what that
is. It comfortable in your hands then?
Yeah, it's a lot more comfortable in my hands. I don't get the I don't get the because when I was playing this morning or whatever, I didn't get like the feeling of when I'm playing a controller, my right hand gets like cramped or goes numb a little bit because I have carpal tunnel in it. So it feels like a little bit better. The buttons definitely feel a lot better. It feels like they're in there. And yeah, I can't wait to actually get a PS5 so I can feel the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it feels.
I was surprised by how much of a big deal that actually ended up being to like every single reviewer.
Well, yeah, so developers actually went hard into the technology that's in the controller. Like from what I hear, COD is one of the best. It was one of the best games to play when it comes to the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback. You can literally feel the difference in like guns that you're shooting in your hand, because of like different fire rates and everything. Like with the regular controller, it's just it's vibrating or whatever. But like with the way the triggers work on COD, and like the actual haptic feedback in the vibrations, it like feels like there's a big difference between each gun you're shooting. Now
you love to hear it.
Now if only I could hook it up to my PC and play COD, because I do own COD. I do own Cold War on my PC and still get the haptic trigger and all that stuff with it.
Nah, that's Sony tech.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, that's all I played this week. We're not going to talk too much about Cyberpunk per se, as in gameplay wise, or like what we think about the story, because that's going to be saved for our spoiler cast that we're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Christmassy, so like some games are having Christmassy events right now. Like 14, I need to pop into to do that event.
Starlight.
I still
it's always a feel good one.
I still haven't done all of Eden yet.
No, I need to as well. I've been busy with like work stuff, so I haven't had a chance to pop in properly. But yeah, I need to do that.
I've been busy saving the damn world. And by world, I mean myself, because Cyberpunk is an incredibly selfish game.
It sure is.
All right, well, speaking of Cyberpunk, we're going to have like a CD Projekt Red corner over here, because holy shit, did this game launch horribly.
Yeah.
I wish I bought popcorn for it, because, oh my god, it's been entertaining from the outside perspective.
Oh. Like, before we get into specifics, I think my favorite thing about this, because I've been riding the hype train for like 3 or 4 years now, was literally sitting back and doom scrolling through Reddit and watching people lose their absolute minds. Oftentimes you see blowback on Bethesda and BioWare, EA as a larger, all of that. And these are companies that have over the years just kind of ruined their reputation. 10 days. Matter of fact, as far as Reddit is concerned, 2 days. 2 days, and there was virtually nothing positive to be said.
No. I mean,
stunning.
I mean,
absolutely stunning.
I've always said positive stuff about Cyberpunk, because my experience with the game, it being on PC, I've had maybe some minor performance dips. I'm playing on like low to medium to sometimes there's a couple of settings that are set to high. but I'm still getting anywhere between 40 to 60 frames in most areas. When I'm driving really fast through dense parts of the city, yeah, it drops down to like 25.
Wait, really?
Yeah, even with DLSS on, by the way.
Holy crap! I don't think I got below 40. Of course, I didn't get above 55. But
well, like I said, some of my settings are set to like. There's a couple of settings that are set to high.
So, that makes sense. Right.
But I've like me playing this game has been less buggier than me playing any Bethesda game that I've played.
Yeah, it's really been interesting to compare the two extremes because I sit so comfortably on one end. I didn't experience my first crash until credits rolled.
I haven't experienced a crash yet.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. They rolled out patch 1.05, and I started having serious issues. But I mean, by that point, I'd finished the game. So
really, because actually, I feel like
just after the patch. Huh.
I feel like 1.05 is actually kind of like stabilized a little bit of my stuff.
And I think it was meant to. I think I should probably just essentially unplug and plug it back in. I should reinstall it. But yeah, I was like absolutely smooth sailing until that last day when I was just going through all of the possible endings. Oh boy, that got kind of rough. And always just at the credits or just before them. Yeah. It was fucking bizarre.
I had some hitches during the credits. There were a couple of hitches when the video box for when people are calling you would come in. On a couple of them, I would get some hitches, but like it wouldn't crash on me. Also in 1.05, they applied the AMD CPU thing that
I did see that
we had already put in due to Reddit.
Bless that fix, by the way. I think it didn't do too much for me, but it did enough, and I think that'll fix a lot of other, or it did fix a lot of other people's problems.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
But that is for tomorrow because we are now officially getting too far into that. What did you want to bring up before I interrupted you?
Like my experience with this game is just like performance wise has been again like fairly different from most people. I've had no crashes, minimal bugs. I mean, like I've seen some glitches where my character's clothes will disappear when I look in the mirror, or there's that one that linked last night about with the cars
raining
flying.
Cars.
Raining cars. I've had that a few times, but like nothing nowhere near like when I played Skyrim and I'm falling through the fucking floor. Or
that's good.
Or or dragons looking like they're Cthulhu by twisting inside and out while they're flying, or anything like that. So I've seen people's like complaints and like saying it's all like super buggy and everything, but again, from my experience, this has been a better start than any other Bethesda game that I've seen. That being said, what they really need to fix is that whole 8 megabyte save file corrupting, because
oh boy,
look painful.
Because I could have corrupted my save file with that thing that I showed you guys the other day with that dead body having infinite amount of pistols.
Yeah.
That could have easily have corrupted my save file if I would have kept going with that.
That's wild to me, because you had way too much in your inventory.
Yeah.
And I crafted. Like, that was how I got strong in this game. Bless skill up. I have no idea why he said crafting was bad. It's amazing. So yeah, like I actually also had a lot of things on me specifically for crafting, and I don't know if it's because I crafted enough to keep that number just below. But was it you, Leek, when you brought that up to us? Oh, I did have a moment of panic.
Yeah. But no.
Basically, if you have a lot of stuff on you, or stored away, or something like that, just something to bump up your save file memory.
I think the biggest contention with the launch of Cyberpunk, though, is just with the consoles and how completely unoptimized and not playable they are.
Yeah, we're gonna go get into why, even with all the bugs sorted, it's probably still not. It was probably still was always gonna get a lot of shit tomorrow. But fact of the matter is, that thing launched on 2, 3, maybe 4 consoles that could not play it.
Yeah, and
like
it's
the current gen consoles seem to be playing it, but honestly, that's not ideal because it's the last gen's version, and last gen was absolutely incapable of playing this game.
Yeah, I watched this clip of a guy. He was trying to stream it, and he'd compiled all the times he had crashed on PS5, and it was just in the middle of missions, so there wasn't no autosave at that time, and he was just sitting there frustrated as hell. I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, it's just, I'm actually really glad because before Cyberpunk came out, I was like, okay, well, I'll get it on PS4. That way, we kind of have like a difference in comparison when we do everything. I'm really glad I decided PC because I'd probably I probably wouldn't be finished with the game now if I had gotten it for consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this game was never. I in my opinion, I don't think this game was ever meant to come out on current gen, or not current gen, but last gen technically.
Yeah,
it's really weird because, I mean, that seems to be so obviously the case, and yet it had to have started its life on that, right?
No, I think it started its life on PC.
You think it started its life?
I mean, when
PC,
when you develop a game, it's always on PC. So yes,
I honestly,
technically, they always have the dev kits and stuff in the studio too.
But
you have to develop it alongside. I'm done this in person.
So. I honestly feel like CD Projekt Red didn't think about doing previous gen until this year.
I actually think it was developed for previous gen, and then at some point in development, between 8 years, they switched it up because
that is in line with a fair few rumors going around. I mean, let me be clear: rumors plural. Obviously, a few of these are wrong, but the common consensus is at some point it started over, and a lot of things got rearranged, and it's why it's such a mess now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's essentially because I had 2 teams work on it, and one team couldn't read the previous team's handwriting. Essentially, that's what it was.
It's baffling because like they stated, like, obviously in the multiple little yellow cards that they have thrown out the past week, that they had nowhere near as much time on like previous gen optimization, and I'm like, you guys had 8 years.
We know for a fact that they were only working for 4 years.
No,
which don't get me wrong.
I guarantee you the first like 4 years of the actual of when they announced it to now, I guarantee you the first 4 years was world development. Because you can actually see in this world that there was so much time put into like every single like itty bitty like lore piece, and like, this street corner is this important, this street corner is important, this street corner is important, and the map is actually pretty fucking big. All right, so I guarantee.
Don't worry, I noticed.
Yeah, I guarantee the first couple of years, if not the first 4 years from the announcement to when they actually started developing the game, was actually just world and map building.
Yeah, I wouldn't
perhaps, but they would have to do proof of concept builds as well for whoever they are, for the investors. So they would have put in some systems, but very simplified.
Yeah.
Just in development, just to show this is what we want to do, and this is what this is going to do, and look, we can run around here.
That would have been mostly scrapped, but when they started actually earnest developing, though.
Okay, so.
On that topic,
I mean,
I mean, considering,
dude,
because,
all right. I mean, that's not really how things work, but okay, whatever. I'm not gonna argue about that. I could go on and on.
No, I mean, like, I don't mean like fully on scrapped. I just mean like, obviously they make stuff for investors, and like even now, like, we have this lawsuit that might be coming out for the investors. This could have been stuff like, hey, we have this stuff that is showing the investors to put all this money into, all right, and then they completely changed the game 4 years later.
It should be stated that I don't think anyone here thinks this was done maliciously.
No.
None of us here.
No, development changes happens all the time.
Yeah. Believe that.
Also, I gotta say as well that we have not been in the studio ourselves, so we haven't actually seen any of this. It's all our opinion and guesses. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Speculation.
Yeah.
This is all speculation.
What's not speculation is that there is a potential lawsuit coming.
Yeah.
And Aqua, you're the one who knows about that. So.
There's a law firm. The law firm is a weird name, and by weird name I mean it's like an amalgamation of 5 last names. All right. New York-based Wolf, Haldenstein, Adler, Freeman, and Hers LLP. that's the law firm. They're investigating and possibly going to be pushing out a class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red for apparently materially misleading information to their shareholders in investing public. And that, again, could tie into, like, I mean, they obviously probably showed stuff to their investors early on and got, like, their funding, but maybe... Because, I mean, this happens with a lot of developers anyway. Development, like, stuff, they change. Halo's has, like, when it was being developed halfway through, it gets scrapped and then completely changed to something different. Destiny had the same thing.
You would find, like, especially IPs attached to big brands or movies or actors, there are instances, which I've seen personally as well, that a lot of things are scrapped and or changed heavily.
Yeah.
And you can't argue against it because you're not calling the shots.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. This is just this thing just came out, like, I guess yesterday, where they were stating that there's possibly going to be a class action lawsuit. And that'll be interesting to see over the next couple of weeks if that actually goes through or not. But I think that's mainly due in line with how mainly the console versions of the game are being massively refunded back to like Sony and Microsoft, and Sony removing Cyberpunk from the store. Period.
Yeah. I think that's really the point at which any company that could represent investors, like, really they start chomping at the bit, because frankly, there's a lot of very angry people willing to go to court over lost investment.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't fuck with investors. Like, investors are really the company's customers. Like, that's literally what it is.
It's a sad thing to say out loud, but I mean, if you're going to be brutally honest, that is in fact true.
So,
the consumer is a secondary market almost. But usually I'd be inclined to just really get on investors' butts and light them on fire, except that this was in fact kind of a train wreck, and as you said, Sony's Full Sail pulled it off its network, and I think Xbox has a very, very interestingly worded warning about it.
Okay.
So, like, this is really gonna hurt their bottom line, because Christmas sales are where it's at.
What was the
West.
So, question: what was their initial budget for this game?
Was it?
Because this is definitely going to hurt their profits, right?
The rumor was $100 million.
Oh, I don't think it's going to hurt their profits. I think they made it all back.
Yeah, no, they did. Pre-orders made the full made all of their development costs and marketing.
Even with refunds now.
See, that's where it gets kind of funny. Yeah. I don't know how much they've given back for that.
Yeah.
I know the game initially cost. Well, not initially. I think at the end of its life cycle cost about $320 million.
Yeah.
So put in perspective, how many pre-orders happened?
Probably fairly a lot. See, the weird thing about how much money CD Projekt Red would lose from people refunding is kind of weird because developers don't outside of like people buying from GOG and I guess maybe Steam, developers publishers generally sell to the retailers. And that's where they get they sell their stock to the retailers, and then the retailers make the money off the sales. So most of the money that CD Projekt Red made off of when they made off of all the pre-orders was the retailers buying all of the stock of Cyberpunk, and so they had honestly already made back all of their money way before the game even released. Because like GameStop, Walmart, and all them, they bought so much stock.
Are the retail's part of the investors?
I don't think so. I think that's a completely different segment of the pie chart, as it were.
So what hurts CD Projekt Red in like with all the refunds is that their stocks are going down.
Oh god, it's a massive hit. 22% dip. At least currently, as of 2-3 days ago, and they're down 1.8 billion with a billion in stock, in like just in this potential money that they could have had.
Yeah.
Oh crumbs.
So I think
let's be real here. I think a lot of people kind of it goes over their heads when a stock drops by a certain amount of millions or billions. It is all just potential money. But, like, that's a lot of money that just got wiped off the table, as it were.
Yeah, so I don't think indirect refunds for Cyberpunk actually hurt CD Projekt Red in the bottom line with money, but the overall perception of the game and it getting refunded has hurt its stocks. Enough to the point. I suppose
also it'll hurt the trust between Sony and Microsoft as well.
Yes, and obviously with the investors too.
It's an interesting thing because that's honestly the biggest hit they've taken. I don't think money's really going to be a major issue. They are the largest gaming corporation in EU in terms of revenue, I guess, which is wild.
Yeah.
Even after this loss, I believe they're still floating ahead of Ubisoft now, which is still wild. But the trust loss between retailers, storefronts, and the player base is going to be big, and the newfound ill will from investors is going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And after so many years of just having this in the background, everyone thinking that they were working on it, it does lead to the obvious question of what happened. All I know is the no-clip documentary that comes out about this is going to be wild.
Yes. Honestly, they should have delayed this game 6 more months.
I don't think that they should even have put this game out for 2 years.
I don't know about 2 years. I think a lot of optimization could have came out in 6 months, but
yeah. All right, so I'm being a bit disingenuous there. I think if you want the game that they gave us, this game could have been out in 6 months, sure.
Yeah.
I think it has deeper flaws than that, though. Personally.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff within the game that has a bunch of potential that could have been there, and that probably was going to be there. I'll give, I guess, a sneak peek of what what I kind of want to talk about on tomorrow, for tomorrow, is that I think something was supposed to happen with brain dances, and they're kind of just not there outside of the stuff that you get in the story, because you can buy a bunch of brain dances, but you can't do anything with them. So
really,
yeah,
yep.
And we'll get to that tomorrow. But I think that's one thing that probably was in the game and either got cut out, or they just didn't have the good enough management time to actually develop on it. So
I personally think they should have dropped last gen. They should not have released on last gen.
Oh, they should have dropped it last gen. Period. Yeah, I agree. But I think they promised it for that gen.
They 1000% did.
Yeah, they promised it for that gen, so they realistically, it probably would have hurt them more if they cut that out.
I don't think it would have hurt them more, but they still would have had a lot of explaining to do. There still would have been a surprising amount of backlash, sure.
Yeah. But on a lighter note, somebody figured out how to get a Cyberpunk to run on the Switch.
Okay, so I purposefully did not look at this. A, is it a slideshow? B, does it actually run? And C, is it just streaming?
Yeah, it's more akin to streaming it to the Switch. Okay. It's not actually running on the Switch.
Okay.
But you still have Cyberpunk on the go.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or kind of on the go. You probably can't get too far away from where you're streaming it from. But
oh yeah, I suppose that's true.
That's hilarious, though. I guess. I mean, that's something. I mean, that game will never be on the Switch. I can tell you that. maybe when they come out with the Switch Pro.
Then you're pushing it, I think. Honestly,
well, the Switch Pro is supposed to be like 4K and all that stuff. So I mean.
Look, my whole issue with the idea of the Switch Pro is that there's no way its battery life is ever going to let you play a big beefy game.
I feel like the Switch Pro is not going to be more of a Switch. I think it might actually be like an actual hard console.
So switchy. Aww.
So not actually being like, oh, I can just pull it out of my dock. I think it's going to be an actual console and not a handheld. Because there's no way there could be a battery life with something as with beefy hardware.
Yeah.
So, I think it might be a non-undockable console. If there is one.
I look forward to it.
If there is one.
I mean, I'm not going to pick it up, but I still want to see Nintendo actually go back to making, a real console.
Yeah.
So.
Gasp. Mary's after you now. He knows your location.
Mimosa, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to speak ill of your son.
It doesn't matter. Mario's dead. Remember? He got killed by Sephiroth.
No.
Well, it's been greased.
Let's talk about that, actually. I mean, Sephiroth got announced for Smash somehow.
I'm going to buy Smash pretty soon, so I can actually... Like, I was not going to buy Smash unless Sora got in, but the next best thing was me watching that Sephiroth trailer, because that was bad fucking ass.
Okay, real quick. Even though we all watched it together, who did you all think was actually going to be next? Like, what vague ideas had you in your head?
I always hoped Sora. I've always been hoping Sora. So, I was like, maybe. As soon as the trailer started, I knew it wasn't going to be Sora. Because that's the...
You say this, but to have everyone sit there defeated and have Sora do the whole Kingdom Hearts 2 unlocking cinematic,
that would have
been really cool.
That would have been so cool.
I don't know. I mean, I never guessed the Minecraft guy would be in it. So.
Yeah, fair play.
So it could have been anything from that point.
A lot of people were wanting Fortnite. Were thinking it's going to be Fortnite guy.
Yeah. I mean, I have deep in my heart of hearts always wanted to see Crash and Spyro in.
Oh.
Yeah, they would
Fair.
fit, I think. Yeah. They'd fit in well.
We'll never
I think,
get it, though.
I mean, honestly, I want to see Crash, Spyro, and Sly, but even Sony's forgotten about Sly, so what chance does he have now?
No, it's going to be in the next All-Stars Battle Royale.
That doesn't count. God, that doesn't count. It was so bad.
No, that was pretty. That trailer was honestly one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
That trailer was spectacular.
Yes.
I've watched a lot of Advent Children because it came out during a time where the wave was still strong in me. I say this, but I watched it in French a lot. Whatever, doesn't matter. I watched a lot of Advent Children with my friends. We did a lot of nonsense around it, and the amount of homage it plays to specifically Advent Children is stunning.
Dude, he's Sakurai's secretly a huge Advent Children stan.
Someone sure was. It
Man.
looked great though. I'm routinely surprised, even though I shouldn't be anymore, at the quality coming out of the cinematics for Smash.
Mm-hmm.
They love to recreate like certain important important parts of like with the Advent Children, like the Sephiroth thing. They recreated like specific scenes from Advent Children, like the whole part where Greninja and Bayonetta comes out to fight him and they get slashed. That's Yuffie and Vincent.
Sure is.
In Advent Children, they get slashed the same way. And then obviously Cloud gets stabbed, but it's Mario that time. Obviously they do the whole wing covering up, like he's about to turn into Gadaj again.
There was a brief moment where I was like, they wouldn't make costume 10 Gadaj, would they?
Yeah, that's
a deep cut for a lot of people.
No, but it looks like a Safer Sephiroth's boss battle or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I think that might just be a sticker or something about that, because that would be a really interesting model to just randomly have in the game. Or it could just be a boss for the story mode.
Yeah. But it looked good.
Yeah.
We'll get down
Sephiroth
to
Kirby. Sephiroth Kirby.
Oh, no.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, Sephiroth Kirby. I can't wait to actually see that. I want to actually see that actually happen. So I wonder if he'll just get a sword, or if he'll actually get the hair.
No, both. Come on.
Yeah, you have to even both.
Yeah. We'll get down to VGAs though. So outside of our Cyberpunk shareholder crap, Falcom actually had their shareholder meeting this past week.
Yes.
Interesting.
They announced the newest line in the Kiseki series. It's called Kuro no Kiseki, which might be... I don't know how it's going to translate, because obviously that means the trails from Trails of Black or whatever. But I feel like... I think it's going to be Trails from the Dark, or Trails in the Dark, or something like that.
Yeah. Actually, I could kind of get behind that name, Trails in the Dark, if I'm honest.
Yeah. It takes place in Calvard, which apparently, from what they said, Calvard's actually supposed to be a more Americanized Japan. So it'll be like...
You've just said two things that I can't really function in my
So imagine if America was populated by a lot of Japan, and they
So what I'm hearing is it's going to be San Francisco.
Probably.
Okay.
With more desert, I guess, because the land is drying up out there.
What I mean is San Francisco a la 2020.
Just ignore the water at the bay. The rest of it.
They introduced the main character, but they didn't show his face.
Oh man, it was such a tease.
He kind of looks like his outfit screams Lloyd, all right, but his attitude screams like a bit of Nero and Dante,
It's absolutely so much so that when the picture was linked and I didn't blow it up to full screen, I just assumed it was Nero fan art, which was weird because he had black hair.
And I'm like,
oh no, that's Trails, okay.
He uses a sword, like all of the protagonists do. Well, actually, that's a lie because Lloyd doesn't use a sword; he uses tonfas. But he uses a one-handed sword. He's a fixer, and not the cyberpunk fixer. I'm assuming, because that was weird when I first saw it. I was like, "Wait a minute," because I'm in the middle of playing Cyberpunk, and I hear he's a fixer, and I'm like, "Okay, does that mean he's like a info broker or something like that?" But it doesn't go into specifics of what he actually does. But there's going to be a morality system in this game where there's going to be a dark, morally gray, and morally good side that you get to choose, which is going to be weird because that's never been in a Trails game at all.
I hope it matters.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
tired. Mass Effect.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of saying this, but I hope that we get like a morality. If you're gonna put it in the game, please actually make it matter.
The battle stuff. Yeah, God, no. The battle system is more. It's akin to Final Fantasy VII Remake, actually. It's action. Yeah, it's action RPG, but it's like not full on action RPG because they don't want to like push all the way into it because when they already have the E series, which is completely action. And this is the 11th game in a 10 game series that has been primarily turn based. Like slow turn based, to be fair. So it's from what I've seen of the screenshots, it's very akin to Final Fantasy VII Remake, but not as complicated. And the two big mechanics that were in the Cold Steel series, which are the Brave Orders, and I think there's Brave Orders and something else that's not in the game. That's not going to be in this game, but that's mainly because of the new type of orbment systems that they use in Calvard. They're not going to be the same, so they're not going to have the same type of like gimmicks, I guess, because those fair. Are honestly gimmicks. So it looks really nice. Like I'm actually pretty hyped to play it. It's going to be in their brand new engine that they're using. So cutscenes are going to be super actionified. And we got a little taste of that in Hajimari.
We did.
They were still using the Fire engine, but they were able to mix in a little bit of action cutscenes, and they looked really good. And I can't wait.
More news to come, and we can't wait for it.
Oh, there's not going to be 40 to 50 characters in this game.
I mean, it's probably the right call. Let's be real here.
Most of the characters introduced in the game will be new characters. There will be.
How many?
There will be. Well, they didn't say. There will be some recurring characters from the previous series, but obviously those are ones that are like important to this part of the series. But most of the new characters that are going to be introduced into the series, and you're not going to have a bunch of like protagonist characters with you this time, just because of the nature of the main character's profession, because he's a fixer. Sure. So I'm assuming I think honestly it's probably going to be the same as Cyberpunk. You're probably an info broker in like that sort of sense.
If you got a problem.
I see. So is he going to be a good fixer or a bad fixer?
Well, you get to choose.
Moral, you get moral choices now.
So you don't have he won't have too many allies just because of the nature of his job. So most of the characters that will be in this game are actually going to be antagonists.
All right, Billy No Mate's got it.
I am fine with this.
I love Kiseki antagonists. They are the best.
They are actually genuinely really good.
That's good. That's interesting. So he's not attached to this academy at all anymore. It's just his own.
Nope, that was Rain's story. So now we're beginning another one.
Yeah, no, that's actually refreshing.
Yeah, these screens look so good.
They do. I like the graphics a lot.
And actually, they're not showing the character that actually gets teased at the end of Hajimari. There's a female character that uses a katana. And she has braided hair. She's actually not in these screens, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I cannot wait.
In Before Love Interest.
And Before Love Interest, yeah. So next, it was revealed that Monster Hunter Rise is actually going to be a 9-month exclusive to the Switch, which means it's going to probably come out to other consoles after that.
Well, the leaks did suggest PC as well, but obviously Nintendo paid big bucks.
Nintendo paid about $6 million for it.
There's a very good chance that was in direct reference to those leaks that came out. They're like, no, we want that. So there's a chance that it comes out on PC, but for what we know right now, for 9 months, Rise will be a Nintendo exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and honestly, to be fair, if you've played Monster Hunter for any amount of time, this is nothing new to you. It's what we've had for the last, discounting world,
I won't lie.
4 games? 5?
I won't lie. I'm gonna play the demo for this game because there's a demo coming out for
everyone
for a Switch, right? And I'm probably not gonna pick it up on the Switch, so. I'm gonna wait.
So you'll demo it on the Switch and then wait.
Yeah, because I wanna see how the game feels. Feel like just period in playing it. But I don't like playing my Switch all too much. It's just not a console I actually like turning on to actually do stuff. That's fair. Only when a game like really interests me, and obviously, I've burnt myself out on Monster Hunter. Just from the hundreds and hundreds of hours I've put into World.
Yep.
So I'm not in the mood to get into hunting monsters, even though I'm going to try out Dauntless sometime soon. I will turn on my Switch because there is a Bravely Default demo. A Bravely Default 2 demo. A new one. This one's been patched and adjusted for...
God, I still hate that naming convention so much.
This one has been patched and adjusted for the suggestions that people had said about the original Bravely Default 2 demo, because it was fucking hard. And this demo is about 5 hours long, apparently, from what I heard.
This is deja vu. Didn't we do all this with Bravely Default 1? I swear this all sounds very familiar to me.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, there is that demo, and I'm gonna try that. Actually, I'm probably gonna download it after we finish recording here. Next, there's a Windows update that is apparently spiking RAM and CPU levels. I haven't seen that in my PC yet, so I'm not 100% sure if they've patched it out already.
I don't know. I mean, I was talking to Dullet the other day when I mentioned this, and he experienced something.
Yeah, I've blue screened twice since the update.
Oh, see, I haven't yet. And I've noticed... Okay, so the only thing I have noticed is after applying that fix to Cyberpunk, where it uses more cores for my AMD processor... Sure. There was and I started using the NVIDIA overlay so I can display my frames on my for my game. I've noticed that my Cyberpunk will hitch on boot up, and that sometimes my my screen will freeze up, like even without Cyberpunk being on or whatever. But like that's all I've experienced. And now actually the past couple of days my Cyberpunk doesn't hitch up when I boot it. It just boots like perfectly. And I don't know if that was a Cyberpunk update that fixed that.
Yeah. about to say I'm willing to bet that was more to do with the Cyberpunk files. This is different. I actually didn't experience much of the RAM spiking, but I did blue screen twice fairly early after the patch went out. Oh, I'm sorry, the update went out, and it's been good since, admittedly. So I don't know if there was a secondary update that I just didn't notice I put in, or if it just went away on its own. Either way, I did not roll back, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm looking at my thing right now. I mean, I guess to be fair, I am using 42% of my memory, but I mean, Chrome is up, Discord is up, OBS is up because I'm recording, so like that's already like a couple of gigs of memory being used.
Mm-hmm.
My CPU's at 10%, so
yeah, all my numbers across the board are pretty low right now.
So I haven't experienced the blue screen, and I actually don't turn my PC off very often. So I feel like I would be like prime candidate to getting an easy blue screen. So,
actually, I'm kind of curious. Now that you said that, are you like me when you say you don't turn it off and you don't shut it down, or do you like straight up not turn it off?
I just straight up not turn it off. Like when I go to bed, I turn on like a stream or something and turn my monitor around and go to bed.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, no, I put mine to like sleep mode. So.
No, mine doesn't even go into sleep mode. So I feel like I feel like I'm prime candidate for getting a blue screen, and I have not yet. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like specific PCs that are getting these RAM spikes. I don't know if there's like if you specifically have something.
We know for a fact it can't be like really specific PCs because more or less we have the same system.
Yeah.
You just have a
better graphics
more
card.
Recent graphics card. Oh, she's old. But yeah, no, it's not to worry. Like I said, I had it twice pretty early on, and it has since figured itself out. I'm not quite sure what it was, and in so long as it plays nice, I'll just hold strain until the next update.
Yeah. So the PSO New Genesis event happened while we were away.
Sure did.
I didn't actually watch the event itself because I kind of want to be like blind going into New Genesis. But this opening video that they showed looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, I watched it. I'm pretty sure I saw the MC in that video swap weapons from the sword to the gun, the ranger gun. I don't know if he's pulling a Final Fantasy there, but
oh well, I mean you can in normal.
Can you multi-class?
Yeah. Well, I mean
okay.
you can some classes can just wield swords and guns at the same time.
Okay, that was it then. Yeah.
I think
I was looking at the comments too, and then the major comments that I saw were, "Oh God, I'm so glad they fixed his face," and I'm really curious how bad his face was.
His face was bad originally.
Yeah,
was
genuinely,
it bad?
It was this weird square face. It was really bad.
Oh no.
I'll say this: the trailer does a lot to really show off what they wanted to. The texturing is great. The lighting is great. The setting looks great.
Character faces are bad.
The characters don't look that great, but honestly, that's fine because everything around them looks amazing.
Yeah,
and they have a very specific style anyway, so this is immediately recognizable. So it's very clearly a purposeful thing that I wish they would change.
The trailer did push to show you that, yes, you can do this, you can fly from above and land down, and now our space is much more wider and open to run around in after this monster. Yeah.
It is a wild action MMO. I'm here for it. It looks great. I can't wait for it. It's this weird thing where, and the trailer looks gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but somehow the trailer still doesn't do justice to the gameplay we've seen.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I love being able to say this. Like, the trailer is great, but the gameplay was genuinely somehow, it looked better. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, New Genesis is going to be so good.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. Is it coming on PS5? Was it? No, it won't be on PS4, will it?
Japan.
Japan PS4.
We'll have the. I mean, though, yeah, I think it'll be on PS5 because
I'll go.
any game on the PS4 you can play on the PS5.
Cool.
It's just I don't think it's specifically developed for the PS5.
Yeah, I'm assuming not cross region, but hey ho, I'm used to it now.
Yeah. We'll see. They might have learned the lesson.
Well,
with the Western release.
I know specifically, NA's not getting a PlayStation version of this game.
Oh, okay. I did not know
Why?
that.
No, because NA is primarily going to be Xbox PC
based. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Xbox. I think Xbox has the rights for the NA version.
Are they doing cross-platform?
Yeah. You can, PC can play with Xbox.
Okay. No more about the PlayStation version.
Ooh, I wouldn't hold my breath enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
back to
and you wouldn't even be able to connect to US to like the NA servers through the PlayStation.
It is region locked. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong on all of this because honestly, what they should have taken away from the NA release of PSO2 was, oh my god, the market is so active here.
Oh my god, people want to play this game.
What if we just let everyone play together? Like, what if though? But I doubt it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll run around. I don't need to talk to anybody. I'll translate text and type.
So. Scumbag Nintendo apparently shuts down yet another Smash tournament.
Yeah, a collegiate one this time, citing that they have their own plans for a collegiate league, which is, if we know anything about Nintendo forming a competitive base for their players, untrue.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong about this time. I'd love to see Nintendo finally take an interest in their own games. What's really weird about this one is that this wasn't a Melee tournament that got shut down. This was an Ultimate tournament.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it wasn't modded, right?
No. Not to my knowledge anyway.
It was like all above board.
Yep. Yep, it was just a collegiate tournament for money, and Nintendo was like, absolutely not.
Like, Nintendo, what? What are you
genuinely don't know.
Is it because it wasn't sanctioned by Nintendo, or
it almost certainly wasn't?
Yeah, it wasn't sanctioned by Nintendo, but that's not the point. I mean, like,
so
tournaments happen all the time. It's not sanctioned by.
This is in no way special just to Nintendo, but I'm going to use Nintendo as an example in this. Whenever a company is doing excessively well, they are the least likely to be open to playing nice with their player base because they have all the control. We've seen it with other companies too. We've seen it with Sony. Sony suddenly, what is cross platform?
Yeah.
No. We don't do that here. And
except we do now.
Except we do now. But Nintendo is in a really, really good place financially, and they really do hold all the cards. And the games that are being played are Nintendo games, the games that you're not going to find on any other console. So you really have no recourse but to follow the rules. And because Nintendo isn't going through that monstrous PR that they were going through like 6 years ago with the Nintendo, that weird YouTube shenanigans where they were taking 70% of your revenue.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, since they don't have that negative PR anymore, they're back to being what honestly they kind of always were. The overbearing parent that it's their way or the highway.
What was the nature of the money exchange? Was it just a cash prize, or was people betting? Because if it's
no, cash prize.
Just cash prize.
All right.
Like this was a collegiate tournament. This was like by colleges.
Yeah.
I don't know. This just screams of what we know of Nintendo, and Nintendo is not a monolith. There are, like, I've seen people kind of throw shade at Miyamoto and Sakurai, and I don't know that they're the right people to go after in this regard.
No.
It is Sakurai's game, and Miyamoto is currently the face of the company, but I think in neither regard are they the ones going out saying, please don't play our game. Don't get me wrong, they share some blame because, I mean, they're also not coming out and saying, we're going to talk about this openly. They're not being transparent at all.
No.
But it's just this weird position that Nintendo has put themselves in where, and they've said this before, they don't want their games to be competitive. They never have.
Then why make competitive games?
And that's the question, isn't it?
Like, why make a game that has been probably one of the most competitive games in history?
I mean, the fighting game community doesn't like to really call it a fighting game, but
yeah,
Smash, whilst not being the most profitable fighting game in the world,
it's one of the most popular,
best known fighting game, the most widely played. And it is competitive just because of that. Yeah. But Nintendo has a reputation that it actually genuinely does enjoy as this family-friendly, anyone gets to do anything at any time in their games company. Like, it's not made for you, it's made for us.
Yeah, I mean, did they do that with Splatoon as well?
I don't understand.
I don't think Splatoon ever really got popular enough to be on their radar. There was some small Nintendo-held events, but I think they may have wanted that to be their Fortnite, and it just never played out.
I don't know. You make a game that you can PvP in. The PvP is going to be competitive. That's just the nature of PvP.
And when there are options for that, people are going to form little communities, and those communities will eventually grow.
Yeah.
And and legally they have every right to shut it down.
Yeah.
Let's say that, because I want that out in the open. Legally, it is well within their right. They can absolutely fucking kill this game if they so choose. It's their property. Morally, the correct thing to do would be to get behind these grassroots tournaments.
Yeah.
And like really maybe set some ground rules. Maybe make sure names of like top players aren't anything you don't want associated with the brand, but like
have some good faith.
Yeah, like put a little bit of money in there. Drum up a little goodwill. These are people who play your games. These are people who aren't just going to play your games, but are then going to stream them and get other people to get interested in them.
Yeah. It's only you only win from it.
Like, as we've seen before. Let's just we won't talk about that Stadia quote. I guess it wasn't Stadia. It was the Google representative quote. Yeah, you do stand to gain from being involved with your communities, and you stand to lose substantially by being malicious towards them. And that's what this feels like. And this isn't the first time for any company to be so openly malicious towards their own fan base. But it's always strange to see it from Nintendo.
Yeah. I wish they put up a statement at least. That'd be useful.
And that's the biggest thing. All Nintendo really needs to do, and it wouldn't solve the issue, but I think it would put a lot of people in a better headspace, is say something meaningful on the topic.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't hold my breath. Nintendo legal is all about those C&Ds.
Yeah.
So we didn't have an episode last week because we were all playing Cyberpunk, and one of us was watching somebody play Cyberpunk.
Hey, she played vicariously through me.
I got my own save file.
Yeah, she does.
But we did have VGAs happen.
We did.
And I don't want to talk about any of the awards because it was either The Last of Us Part 2 or The Last of Us Part 2 to win, or unless it's esports, then it was League of Legends.
That is also fair.
But we did have a lot of announcements come out that day.
Do tell.
And which I immediately forgot to talk about. The one thing I played that wasn't Cyberpunk this past week was I played a little bit of the Scavengers beta because I actually got into it. The game's weird, and I think it's going to be a pseudo mobile game.
Yeah, all right. Things I wasn't expecting.
obviously I couldn't. The caveat of getting into the beta was you can't record or stream anything.
Of
Can you
course.
talk about it?
But I can talk about it.
All right. Just asking.
There. So the only reason why I say it looks like it's going to be a pseudo mobile game is that at the main menu screen, there is a battery up in the corner that says 80, and that looks like it's in kind of the in kind of a in place of like a stamina bar, like how mobile games will have stamina.
Oh, don't say that.
I only played a few rounds. I couldn't really get into it. It's a third person survival co-opetition game where
co-opetition.
Yes, because you drop in with a group, all right, into the into the snowy land. All right, you're going up against these kind of like metaformed zombies, and you're going around. You pick up weapons, and you kill zombies. You and this like group are trying to survive, but there's certain points of the map where you need to like scan this yellow rock that after you scan it gives you points, and these points are actually pit against other groups that are actually in the same area, that are in like the same world as you. So like when you go to the actual like score screen, you'll see like these different groups, and whether if your group's in like first, second, or third or whatever. So it's a co-op game, but it's also a PvP co-op game where you're PvPing against other groups to get more points while you're in this area.
It's very busy.
And then obviously you're trying to survive against hordes of zombies. The gunplay is not really all that fun. I mean, it's third person, which I don't have a problem with third person gameplay, but like it's about as bare bones as third person shooter is, to be fair. You can only hold like two weapons, or like at least I could only hold two weapons. There's apparently a third button for a weapon, but you might have to unlock that later on. It's also there's different characters that you can play as, and each different character has like a different power up. Like so, I played as this one chick that was named Valora, and her like Q ability was a shield.
All right.
There's two other characters, and I didn't actually really get to look at them because I wasn't I was interested in the when like the trailer during the VGAs happened. But as I got into playing it, it wasn't very like, I mean, it's beta, so I guess it's like obviously still a little bit bare bones, but it wasn't very interesting. I would have definitely liked to gotten into the Back for Blood
yes
alpha that is out somewhere, because Left 4 Dead is definitely feels like a lot better. But I mean, it's okay if they change a few things in the scavengers. It might be a little bit better. It might be worth playing. It just depends on if this is going to be a free to play game or a pay to play.
All right, we'll see how it goes then.
Because if it's free to play, then that thing's definitely a stamina bar, and you can only play like a certain bit.
Well, thank you for taking that deep dive for us.
Yeah. But like I said, I only played like 3 rounds. And stopped. I think the beta's already up. It was supposed to like end, I think, the 21st. What was your favorite showing during the Game Awards? Like what was like the thing you were most interested in?
If I had to, like, the ones that stand out to me are obviously Sephiroth, because that's ridiculous. I can't believe they did it. Arc 2, which was wild, literally just because Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still surprised to see a Perfect Dark game come out. I haven't played a Perfect Dark game since back on the 64. I know they remade this.
I'm not even thinking what year that was.
Oh, I don't remember. I know they up-resed it for the 360 at some point. I never played it, and I never played Zero. But yeah, I mean, like, admittedly, a lot of the announcements were really neat. I mean, Arc 2 is a thing that I don't give a shit about, but Vin Diesel's in it. What? Why is Vin Diesel in it?
I mean, not even that. The animation that came with the Arc.
Yeah, I
Arc 2
was more interested in the animation. The animated series look actually pretty good.
Gerard Butler,
hard to argue.
Kurt Russell,
star-studded.
Seriously.
I genuinely think Vin Diesel just wanted to look like Kratos, personally.
I thought it was going to be a Turok game.
Same.
I was hoping it was. I was hoping it was Turok game. I was hoping.
That would have been good.
No, honestly, what if it was like Turok X Riddick game?
Oh, don't give me hope like that.
That would have been amazing.
I love how stupid the Riddick movies are. I would have loved to hear nonsense like that.
I mean, Riddick is just Vin Diesel's D&D character.
Yeah, he sure is.
Oh, I was interested in a couple like the Evil Dead game. I like Evil Dead.
or the Western
his
Evil
chin
Dead
is
game.
Magnificent.
It is magnificent. That's a great
that
word.
jawline.
And
Holy
then
heck.
There's the Evil West game.
Oh yeah. I wasn't so interested in that one.
Well, you were interested in it when it was being showed. You were like, "This is my D&D campaign."
That was the only reason. That was the only reason.
For the fact that she's already made that.
I've already done this already. It's like, yeah.
When now you don't have to make the video game for it. You can actually literally.
I don't want to make a video game. I just want to play D&D. All right. Anyway, I also like the Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection.
Yeah.
Like, holy heck, that's
frustrate
really
yourself
difficult.
without losing quarters.
I heard they're making it a little bit easier for people. Like
I hope so.
There's going to be an easier mode in that game.
I hope so, because there's some people who are going to pick that up and not be aware of what they're getting into.
There's also a mode where Arthur's only able to be in his boxers, but he does like 4 times more damage.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. What else?
We call that masochism.
We call that speedrun strats.
Yeah. Endless Dungeon was another.
Nier was shown off again.
Nier?
Replicant.
Oh, the
Replicant 1.423.
No, I want Daddy Nier. Give me Daddy Nier.
So I am 1000% with you, and it's mostly nostalgia. I play through with Big Gruff Dad Nier. I am only mildly interested in Big Brother Nier. I think Gestalt needs to have a remaster. But I tell you what, I played those games. That game and Dragon Dragoon 4 or whatever.
Drakengard.
Drakengard, thank you, whatever it's called. Those games played like hot garbage. They are clunky, they are slow, they don't really feel great. You play those for the story, and honestly, Drakengard 4, I didn't make it through the story because boy oh boy, that was excessive. But this, like, it looks great. It looks so.
I mean, it's just Nier Automata, but prequel.
It does look pretty, truly.
I don't know that it's actually going to be as good as Nier Automata, but it looks like it might be close enough.
Yeah. And who knows? You might be able to get to play as Daddy Nier in this one.
If they give me the secret option just to toss in Jameson Price, yeah, I'm absolutely going to do it.
What else? Dragon Age 4, all I could think of was Egg. That's my thoughts.
It's not Dragon Age 4.
Egg.
Was it?
Okay.
They dropped the number.
Oh,
did they? Sorry.
Did, yeah.
Well, Egg. That's all my thoughts.
No, people are thinking that it's a reboot.
I promise you it's not. Purely because it was named Dragon Age 4 in like everything leading up to this. They had a big announcement that said 4 on it.
Yeah, and we just talked about how developments change. Look, and this is BioWare we're talking about here.
Give BioWare a chance. They can't afford to have rebooted like that. Honestly, if they reboot the series, the person they're getting behind is sure as shit not going to be Solus. Don't get me wrong, he was a fine character. That is not the character you build a franchise around, though.
But wasn't he like teased throughout like all of the Dragon Age games though?
A bit the dire wolf.
He's so popular, I just don't understand. He's a dick.
I don't know. I like, and this is gonna continue on because they announced a Mass Effect will continue.
Oh yeah.
A new Mass Effect game. I don't trust BioWare at all.
I think it's the right call. I think if we've all learned something over the past couple of years, do not set yourself up for heartbreak.
Like I just don't trust. Like I don't trust BioWare to continue to what seemingly looks like they might be rebooting Dragon Age after what a 2-generation game like a series. This game's only had three games, and they're already going to reboot.
I feel like that's right. I played Origins, I played 2, and I played 3. I didn't play any side games.
There was Inquisition, right?
Yeah.
Inquisition is 3.
Oh.
Yeah, so like there's 3 games and they're already going into rebooting. Like what seemingly looks like it. They dropped the 4. Which...
So to be fair, Dragon Age Origins was amazing. Dragon Age 2 I liked, but apparently no one else in the world did. I am the sole person to have good things to say about it. And Inquisition was mixed. Yeah. So, like, honestly, it's Dragon Age apparently, for most people, has literally just been riding on 1's immense success.
Yeah. Let's see. You have 3 games, and then what seemingly looks like we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that this is still Dragon Age 4. All right. But the question of them dropping the number is a bit confusing, to say the least. You have the crappy reception that was Mass Effect Andromeda. You have the dud of what is Anthem, which apparently they're still trying to work on to fix. All right. I don't trust them to make this reboot, fix Anthem, and make another Mass Effect game.
Yeah, I mean, my big issue is that the lead on the project walked out. Now it's the Anthem cleanup crew director leading the project on Dragon Age 4, which, I mean, at this point is all but done anyway, but still, it's not a good look.
Do we just go ahead and assume that they're not going to fix Anthem?
I mean, bold of you to assume that was ever actually the plan.
I mean, Anthem had a lot of potential. They could have easily fixed
absolutely. It. And they said they would, but they also said they were going to put out a new revolutionary game. And boy, oh boy, they didn't do that either, did they?
So, like, I kind of want to go ahead and say that they're going to drop trying to fix Anthem.
What I want from BioWare, and it clearly won't be with Dragon Age, is for them to cease productions on any distractions. Anthem, let it go. I don't even know that you can save it. I mean, maybe you know Man's Sky. Maybe you do. I doubt it. And, you know, honestly, the looter shooter genre is kind of played out right now and it needs a break.
Yes.
It doesn't need to go away. It just needs a break.
Yes, please. I'm tired. Tired.
They need to get as many people on the same page as possible instead of bouncing them around the various studios. And I'm not saying get everyone in BioWare, because it's a couple different studios now, to work on Mass Effect 1 again, this time for real. But it would be nice to see some proper full studio direction going forward.
Oh, so speaking about Mass Effect, all right. We all loved Mass Effect. We all loved playing 1, 2, and then 3 all the way up until the end. Here's a question: Do they just forego the Control and the Fusion endings of Mass Effect 3 and just immediately go into the Destroy ending of Mass Effect 3?
It'd be interesting now, wouldn't it?
Because that's literally what it looks like. because that trailer just looks like Liara picking up a piece of Shepard's gear.
Yeah.
Right after her destroying the Reapers.
Do I think they should do that? Yeah, no, absolutely.
No. Yeah.
They absolutely should.
Forget 3 ending even happened. Forget 3 had a different ending. Period.
Exactly. Do I think they are? I'm not sure. I don't actually think that they will.
Well, they can't do the synth ending. That trailer already proves that they can't do the synth ending.
Look, that trailer's just a teaser. I'm willing to say that nothing about that trailer is indicative about the final product.
Honestly, true. This is BioWare we're talking about here.
What I'm gonna say is, what they did with that trailer was generate a lot of conversation, which is the best thing for them right now.
I guess. I'm still hyped for the remaster of the trilogy, so I can play that once again on my PC. And hopefully Mass Effect 1 is fixed and doesn't have the really janky gameplay.
Yeah. And jank it was.
What else in VGAs was I very interested in? Oh, I was like... So Back 4 Blood is literally Left 4 Dead. Only not named Left 4 Dead because they're not with Valve anymore.
I want to give you shit, but that is an exceedingly accurate statement.
Because it's the same people. So I'm really interested in playing that game. I actually really can't wait because I loved Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. There was a lot of 4-player co-op survival games that were shown off at the VGA. So you had Back 4 Blood, you had Scavengers, you had Endless Dungeon was a roguelite actually, but it was a co-op roguelite.
Technically, Monster Hunter is a 4-person co-op game.
Yeah. Warhammer 40K. What's it called? Vermintide? No, it wasn't called Vermintide.
No, not Vermintide. Vermintide is the one that's out now.
Yeah. What's this one called? Anyway, the Warhammer 40K game. Darktide. Yeah, Warhammer 40K game. Which is a 4-player, looks like to be a horde survival game. That actually looked really good, and I'm pretty interested in that. Yeah, a lot of this. Actually, you know what? The one I was most interested in was that dragon flying game.
So
I forget what it's called.
I was also excited, but I had to stop myself. Because I did this once before with Microsoft.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then that game never existed. We don't talk about that game.
With Microsoft? Oh, is it Soulbound? No, that's Soulbound.
Soulbound.
Is it Soulbound?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Soulbound?
It was called Soulbound.
That's the
dude with the headphones and the big dragon buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it feels bad, man. I really wanted to play that game.
God, the game was
It was Devil May Cry without being Devil May Cry.
It was literally Nero. It was literally Nero with a dragon. Mm-hmm. It was a level of stupidity and wonder that I couldn't wrap my head around, and then it just died.
Wait, oh yeah, no, that was supposed to be the Platinum Games. That was
Scalebound.
Scalebound, there you go.
Scalebound.
It was a Platinum Games game, and then Microsoft fucked Platinum over on it.
Well, yeah, it was a Platinum developed game, and then let's not go with fucked over. The leads, Kamiya and whoever was in charge with Microsoft at the time, had some disagreements, which is not common. Kamiya is a bit difficult to work with. And so he took his ball and left. And then they were like, oh, can we finish this? Do we have the... No, don't tell anyone yet. People are excited. Let's try. No? Okay, can it? Heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know.
But Centuries, I think not Centuries. Century Age of Ash was a less fantastical take on still being a pretty fantastical Dragon Rider. So,
yeah, I mean, this looks literally just what is this? Star Wars Squadron, but with dragons. So,
I think that alone could sell a lot of people.
Yeah, that looked really good. And I didn't realize this when the trailer was going on. but after looking into it, the like 10-minute trailer for Crimson Desert, that's literally by the same people that made Black Desert Online.
Yeah.
That game's probably going to be hot ass.
Probably.
But it's going to look nice.
And it does.
It really does.
All right, so I've been dancing around this for a little while now, and no one's brought it up. The singular best piece of DLC to come out of the VGAs this whole time. Better even than Sephiroth.
Oh.
Swedish Chef in Overcooked.
God, no, you're talking to me about that. We got the poo-poo and the poo-poo.
Oh.
Well, now you mentioned it, you have to do an impression now. Come on.
No, I don't.
Yeah, come on. Give us your best Swedish.
No, I really don't. I have a lot of friendly Swedes in my life that I don't wish to offend.
I think that's it. I mean, I'm interested in Perfect Dark. I've never played Perfect Dark game, but I will play a modern Perfect Dark game.
Yeah, I can imagine it'll be very bad. I mean, this is...
You know what's funny? So, the initiative, the developers of this Perfect Dark game, right? When they announced that they were working on a video, like a video game, one of the I guess not the reporters, but like somebody close in with it was talking about, well, it's going to be like Perfect Dark, but not actually Perfect Dark, but it's going to be like somewhere tied to Perfect Dark. He was going on and saying that for like the past like year and a half before they showed this trailer or whatever, and it literally just ended up being Perfect Dark.
It's fucking hilarious. I'm not against this. I mean, it's classic. It's one of the old rare games from 64. It was good then. I hope it's good now. And I hope it has multiplayer, and I hope it's as fun as it was.
I mean, it certainly has the CG graphics, so because that's all video games are nowadays.
Yeah, trailers just are absolute. What's the point of trailers anymore? Everyone knows they're going to get something that is entirely unrepresentative of gameplay.
Yeah,
and it's just hype cycle, right?
You know what bothers me so much? All right, we have all of these games that have been announced for Microsoft. All right, not a single fucking one of them have a release date.
Coming soon.
The closest one we have a release date to is Halo and Scarlet Nexus, and they're both in summer.
Fall? Oh, summer.
They're both in fucking... Well, actually, I think Halo is fall, I think.
Yes.
Halo's fall 2021, and Scarlet Nexus is summer 2021. So, I'm like... Those are the closest games that are coming out for the Series X that have been announced, and I'm sitting here like,
when's the next big game convention?
E3?
No, surely not. That's halfway through the year.
Most of the ones that are coming out between now and then are usually Japan exclusive.
Goodness! And does Microsoft have a state of play or
no?
God, they better make one.
Let's see, the next one might be, I don't know if Sony's doing an expo anytime soon, or a Sony like experience or whatever, but I don't think they do them anymore because they have a state of play. So that's probably out. Jump Festa.
Yeah, Microsoft needs to get itself a direct ASAP.
Jump Festa is sometime soon, if I recall correctly.
These are very non-Microsoft friendly shows.
There's D23 Expo that sometimes announce video games, and but those are like just Disney related, and that's usually only where we get like Kingdom Hearts related news, ish. Yeah, there's PAX, but I don't know if PAX is even if PAX stuff is even going to happen because COVID. So,
and that's also very fair. Very, very fair.
So, I mean, Microsoft has just got to announce some stuff. I mean, we have Ratchet and Clank coming out for Sony pretty soon. We have both Horizon and God of War are slated for next year. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in Scarlet Nexus, but I'm probably not playing it on Xbox.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft only has advertising rights to Scarlet Nexus, so that's pretty much it. I forget what that one game's called that they announced at VGA's. It's that one where you're like, I guess you're kids, but you're on an island and you get to like jump into things. That game looked interesting.
Oh,
it's called Ithia or Ithaca or something like that. Or Chia. Chia is what it's called.
Oh, Chia. The TCHIA.
Yeah. That game looked interesting, where you get to like jump into coconuts.
It certainly looked unique, yeah.
And crabs. And the crab get to have a little flower on its head. I don't even want to touch Ark. I've been burnt by that company that makes Ark, because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make Atlas." Totally not an Ark clone. Totally for pirates. Totally a really cool pirate game. Turns out it's literally just Ark. Literally.
Yep.
So
sure was.
Yeah, I remember people being pretty angry after it was launched.
So I'm not going anywhere near Ark 2 unless it looks completely different from Ark, which I highly doubt it will.
Which, I mean, there's an upside. Either way, we get an animation.
Yeah, true. I'll watch the animation.
Honestly, that's it.
I'm trying to think of any other like of the indie games that Open Road kind of looked interesting. I wanna see how that game kind of plays out.
I don't even. Oh God, body please. I'm not even sure what kind of game it is. It gave me real.
It gave me more interactive story vibes.
Yeah.
So those might be interesting for like just to try out. I kind of want to play A Way Out because of fucking Joseph Farrow. But I need another person to play that game. And I only say A Way Out because he's he's making It Takes Two.
Yeah, I like the look of Season. It's very pretty.
Yeah, Season actually looks pretty good.
Oh, I draw a blank on Season. Which one is that?
Some of the person with the cool shades, just making like almost going on a journey. It seemed like there was this time limit that they were basically having to just.
Yeah, the one that he's recording things around the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one looked really interesting.
It's very pretty.
And I think that's all the games that I can remember out of the VGAs that I liked. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if any.
I mean, that's most of the stuff we missed, honestly, because the last week was so focused around a singular title of news in Cyberpunk, and before that was everything leading up to the VGAs.
So, what do you guys plan on playing this week?
Well, yeah, I think I already mentioned earlier. 14, just catch up all the Christmassy festive things. Happy holidays, everybody, by the way. And yeah, I'm more Dauntless. Me.
I will probably join her for a bit of Dauntless. As I said, I have it downloaded. I literally just need to tear myself away from Hades and press the play button. I also will at some point start Valhalla now that I have that and get me some.
Yes, I will make you.
Some Cyberpunk bartender action. Let's go. And maybe I'll go back for that Takamura ending. We'll see.
Hopefully, maybe. No, maybe. I don't know. I have to look because I want to say I have a manual save near the operation. So I might look and see if I can find that. But if I do that, that's that's another added like what is it, like 10 to 15 hours onto that game.
Yeah, so, it's a bit of a slog backwards once you finished it. God, I wish we didn't have to think about it like that. It should be a joy to play through that section again.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, to be fair, I can just fucking throw mods in the game and then finish out the game that way. But
I do look forward to the inevitable mods. That's tomorrow's episode.
What am I going to play? I'll probably play a little bit more Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is one of those games I'm probably going to slog through it very slowly, because of just how challenging it is. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably do a level here or there until I finally finish it. I am debating on restarting my Persona 5 Royal playthrough and just popping it on easy so I can get the entire story done before Strikers comes out.
Excuse me, Scramble.
It's called Strikers in English.
Damn, I thought I was so clever.
Yeah, so I have to realistically say Strikers when I say it. I mean, I could just say P5S.
Can you remember the last time we tried shortening that?
No, I can say P5S. I can't read it, especially when it's next to PS5.
Oh my.
What else? I'm debating on getting Horizon for PC. Because I enjoyed the hell out of that game. It's actually my favorite PlayStation 4 game.
What a thing to say! Wow.
Horizon.
At some point when
really
there's a discount, go pick it up.
If you go on CD Keys, you can get it for.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's it at the moment. I'm not going to pick up Red Dead Redemption for a little bit because that's one of those games where I just kind of play at different times of my life. And maybe I'll finish Hajimari one day.
One day.
I'm on the final chapter of Hajimari. I just haven't picked it back up. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
And then tomorrow we're gonna record
spoiler talk.
Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do spoiler talk.
God, I'm gonna shit on this game and then have so many nice things to say at the same time. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be a real fence sitter about this.
Yep. And Leek will be here just to listen to us and be like, oh,
yeah, I'm gonna get snacks and just like listen.
Popcorn.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, I think that's it for this week, guys. Take care.
Bye now.
Thank you for listening. If you like this content and want to see more, please like, favorite, and subscribe. Links to our Twitters are in the description.